Good evening. I'm Chanel, Vehicle Title Expert. Thank y'all so much for tuning in, and thank you in advance for subscribing. So tonight I will be talking to all of you married couples out there pertaining to rights of survivorship for your vehicle title. Okay. So before I get into that, let me just share that just because you're married, it does not mean that you can have access to your spouse's vehicle information if you're not on that title, number one. Okay. Number two, it doesn't mean that you can make any changes to a title if you're not on that title of your spouse as well. Just because you're married, you know, in the eyes of DMV, you still have to go through a process. It doesn't give you an automatic right or access to your spouse's vehicle, information as whatnot. Okay. So, with that being said, rights of survivorship in the terms of a vehicle title basically means in the event one spouse passes away, the title will automatically go to the surviving spouse. Okay. Now, let me just share this part as well. Sometimes the title can be in two spouses' names, okay? But rights of survivorship may not be present on that title depending on the state. So, if that is a concern that you have, my advice to you is to reach out to your state. If you have a title and you and your spouse's name and you don't see any abbreviation or terms pertaining to rights of survivorship, reach out to your state to be sure, because you don't want any surprises down the road. So be proactive with that. Okay. But that is a possibility sometimes, that rights of survivorship may not be present just because, it's in two names. Normally, if rights of survivorship is present on your title, it is going to read that on your title. So you don't want to assume that. Now, what happens, in the event right of survivorship is not present on that title? The DMV is going to look at the next spouse, the surviving spouse, but they're also going to look at, are there any children present? Okay, is there a will established? Okay, and so on. So you don't want things, or you shouldn't want things to go that far, because it can be complicated pertaining to a will, paperwork, probates, things of that nature, even getting the children involved. So you want to start with the rights of survivorship. It makes the process, better. It makes it easier. Okay, so have that talk with your spouse. If you don't have rights of survivorship, already, have that talk, have that conversation to see if this is something that you guys want and it's beneficial. A lot of times, it is, it's going to save you trouble, and delays down the road and unnecessary burdens and paperwork and things of this nature. So have that conversation. Let me also add, if you are purchasing a vehicle from the dealership and you want to have rights of survivorship, make sure you tell that dealership that's going to be doing your paperwork to have rights of survivorship for you and your spouse if both of you are going to be on that title. And if you are purchasing from a private party, maybe you and your spouse are going to the DMV, you're doing the title work yourself, tell that DMV clerk to also add rights of survivorship on that title for you and your spouse as well. Sometimes the DMV clerks will automatically put rights of survivorship on the title. If the vehicle is in, multiple names, they will do that automatically. But sometimes the clerk will not, and you don't want to assume, that DMV is going to do that. You don't want to leave that ball in their court. Be proactive and have rights of survivorship added if that's something that you want. Now, let me also give you guys some good news. It's never too late to add rights of survivorship to your title, provided that, both parties are still living. You can always make that change, so if you have vehicles now or a vehicle now and, you and your spouse want to add rights of survivorship, you can do that. If you have a vehicle that has a lien on it, maybe you want to add your spouse to that vehicle. They weren't there before. Have that talk with the lien holder And, a lot of times the lien holder, they can work something out with you, and they may add that spouse to the vehicle. Of course, paperwork and changes will be needed, but, have that talk to the lien holder if your vehicle is being financed, and, you can go from there to get that done. If you have any questions pertaining to rights of survivorship, or maybe you need more clarity, or you want to share your experience or feedback, feel free to drop me a line below or visit me at wisdomandauthority.com. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Please click, share, and subscribe. I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you.